What's up, world? It's your girl Trinice, and it's True Talks with Trinice at the Virgo Lounge podcast. And today we are at an event called Love Set Apart and Still Chosen. I am so excited to be here. Come with me as we focus on healing, identity, and sisterhood. All right, everyone. So it's your girl Trinice, and we are here with the ladies, and we are Love Set Apart and Still Chosen. I have Miss Destiny right here, and I want her to introduce herself.
Hi guys, so my name is Destiny. I'm the founder of Peculiar Purpose. We are a nonprofit 501c3 organization. Purpose Restored is a women's chapter, a women's community where we provide support and resources. Today's event is all about love because we are in the month of February. And even though society may deem us or we may feel that we don't fit into certain things or certain standards, we are still loved. We are still chosen. We still have purpose.
I love that. I love that. So we're just here kicking it, having a conversation. We're here for peculiar purpose, and we're here for healing, identity, and sisterhood today. You guys are making your candles. I love it. We are fellowshipping, having nice food, and we're gonna start the day off with Miss Keandra. She has something that she wants to say.
Hey guys, I'm Keandra. How you doing?
We are wonderful.
Yes, so in 2026, there are a plethora of things that are going on in the world. And I feel like as far as love and relationships, we're in a different era. But I want to know what you guys think about dating in 2026 and relationships in 2026. I think that we've evolved from the past.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I think it's what you make it to be. Like, everyone's experience is different, so I wouldn't want to speak on everyone's experience.
What about your
My
experience?
yeah, my experience. My experience is crazy, honestly, because I wouldn't say like I'm more of, well, like I'm kind of like in a stage where I'm avoiding someone. So with him, it depends. Like with my experience, it's giving stalker.
Oh,
Yeah, so my
Oh.
experience is giving stalker. So it's like I wouldn't want to say like my experience would be the same as everybody else. So it's like with love, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but I'm still healing from certain things. So it's like it depends. So I wouldn't want to say love is a bad thing, but it's a healing journey for me with love because I feel like my definition of love is self-love right now. So I can't say like well with love is like being with somebody else right now. So more self-love for me so I can show others love. So I can make sure that I'm loving other people properly. Because I think the way that I was loving him was not properly. It was not properly. It was too much leeway. And so yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it.
Yeah,
Because I'm still healing. Yeah, because I'm still healing from it. But when it comes down to self-love, like I just feel like I was not showing my self-love. So that's why I was letting him talk to me any type of way. And I wasn't as confident. Like right now, like me being dressed up is because I'm trying to show my confidence out more.
That's right.
Because I used
Girl, do
to.
you see you?
Yeah, thank you. Because I used
Do
to.
you see you? Do you see you?
Thank you.
Self-love is definitely the best type of love that you can ever have. Like, if you don't show yourself love, who is going to?
Right. Yeah, so it's like certain things that he was saying to me to just
Start getting into your head.
start getting into my head, mess with my confidence,
And that's the purpose. That's why they do it. So they can break
Yeah.
you down so you can be stuck with them
Mhm.
and you won't go anywhere.
Right.
But because when you figure out who you are as a person, You know, now they have something else to deal with, because when you know who you are not going to let someone treat you any kind of way. You're not going for it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't know who you are, that's the problem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that you brought that up because I'm a firm believer that in life and seasons everything change. Everything have an expiration date. And for me sometimes I could say this because I was there. We hold on to the season when the season is gone. Like, and we don't know how to love properly, but because whatever they did feel good or felt good in that moment, that's that thing that we're holding on to. But we have to learn to be past it when they are past it. And there's signs. Every time you leave a relationship, of course, they're going to miss the fact that you're no longer there, right? So they're going to do things to try to get you back. For example, Nick Cannon was like, you know, he got like so many baby mamas. So he was like, he said, "Oh, it was only one that I really loved, and once I got with her, this is in summary. This is not verbatim, but he was like, pretty much once I got with her, like the thrill was gone." And he was like, I knew I couldn't get with her, so I had to be, you know, like more Christ-like. So they will try to match your energy and pretend to be the man that they think that you want, and then they'll just leave you high and dry.
Wow.
And that's where discernment comes in for us, because we have to, you know that even though this is what they're showing, that they are sheep in wolves' clothing. Like,
true,
their morals and their intentions are not 100% pure. So we can't go based upon feelings alone when we're going into something. Trust me, I was in something for 10 years with somebody, left me high and dry. High and dry. You hear me? High and dry.
And you're absolutely correct. Like, I tell people all the time, when you meet someone, when you first meet them, you are meeting their representative. You know, I told my little daughter this not too long ago. She only 14, got this little boy she like or whatever. And now, you know, she's all heads over heels, goo goo gaga. I said, you know, she asked me, she said, you know, how does it make you feel when somebody makes you feel good, you know? And I said, that's a great thing. If you are going to be in a relationship with someone or talking to someone or giving them your time or energy, you want to make sure that they are pouring into you. They are making you happy. They should make you feel good. If they're not, then what's the purpose? And so, but I said, but you be observant. You observe, because people do change. It's fresh. Everything is fresh right now. You're meeting his representative. It's not him yet. You see what I'm saying?
In 2026 nowadays, they're calling it like a man treating a lady nice, a simp. Like,
yes.
If a man is treating a woman too good, he's a simp. Like, how?
And that's a shame. That's a shame. That's how a man's supposed to treat a woman.
And that's a simp to you guys? Like, they don't.
Yeah, but if you go back to
nowadays,
God's word, the Bible says, husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting away from that. So that's a simp. Like, no.
And
like,
nowadays, they're not God fearing. I think that's the problem.
that is
they're
a
not
lot
God
of the problem.
fearing.
That is a lot
They
of the
may
problem.
believe in God, but they're not God fearing. There's a difference with believing in God and fearing God.
Absolutely.
And so
I
think
definitely
that's
totally agree with that.
It also starts with us too, because as women, we're allowing them to do things
That's
that
right.
are not of God. We're doing things too early because we're going back to what feels good.
Mhm.
We are so in a rush to get a sense of instant physical gratification, and once you open up, I'm gonna say, Pandora's box, then just like Eve them, it's just things change. So we have to also, as women, we have to slow down, and self goes back to self-love. Know who we are, know whose we are, and position them how to love us properly before we start doing certain things with them.
I agree with that. I agree with that too. You know, as women, we gotta really take accountability. We gotta look at ourselves and sit with some of the things that we have done, but get better. Like, it's okay, like, we learn every day. We learn from situations, experiences. That's the best way to learn. So it's good to just take accountability, but grow from it and move better.
Exactly.
Just move better, do better, and you will attract better.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think nowadays it's hard because we don't have like a goal in mind. Like when I started dating,
Is marriage
mine,
still the goal?
it's
Question mark. Is marriage still
I
the
don't
goal?
think it is for everybody, and I don't think it has to be the goal for everybody. Some people just want that person to grow old with and not necessarily marry, and some people want a friend, and some people want to get married. And if your two goals aren't the same, you need to nip that in the bud right away and need to realize. And I feel like that's a very important conversation that we should be
Absolutely.
having with our partners. Like, what is the end goal? What are you
Absolutely.
trying to get out of this?
Yeah. Someone told me earlier that Virgos are very direct. When I was single, when I was single, I knew that I was not having any more kids. That was my first question. Do you want kids? And I met one guy, he was like, oh, it don't matter because he didn't have kids. And I feel like it's so unfair for me to tie someone down that does not have kids, that want kids, and I'm being selfish and I know I can't have kids or don't want anymore, you know? So I said, do you want kids? Because I want to get straight to the point. I'm direct. We not going to spend no time together. We not going out on a date. We're not doing none of that. I want to know, do you want kids? He said, well, your kids could be my kids. It don't really matter to me. And then, okay, but 3 months in, you're asking me for a child. That was the cutoff right there. Like, I'm going in telling you what I want, what the goal is. You try to trick me. The man say, what if I do voodoo on you and make you have kids? Yes. Oh. Yes. Oh. Yes. Yes, I mean. That's what he said. Delete block. Delete block.
I just want to say, a lot of times, like you said, you go into something, and I'm a Virgo too, so I'm very direct, and I tell people, "Do you have kids?" Because I don't know if I want any, and I don't want to make you stay in something that I'm not even sure about, right? So guys that tend to like me, they have kids, and I be like, look, I can't even connect with you at all. Like, I can't like you. I'm gonna, like you said, block game is real strong when it comes to that because you don't even want that in your area, so that you can be enticed to even fall for that.
Exactly.
So setting the boundaries with what you want and having intentionality about everything that you desire, that's something that's really important, especially in dating.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Is love an illusion?
Is love an illusion?
Yeah, like, isn't it an illusion? And the reason why I say that is because you can love more than one person. And a lot of people make love conditional. But I feel like love is unconditional because at the end of the day, you are who you are. This person is who they are. You can't change. You don't just wake up and change, And I feel like if you're changing for someone, is that really the person you should be with? So that's why I say it's love an illusion. You know what I'm saying?
That's a deep question. But I don't feel like love is an illusion. I don't feel like it's an illusion. I feel like love is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like I grew up in a house with both parents and they were together until my dad passed away. I grew up in a house with both grandparents like you did and they were together until my grandfather passed away. So I know it is possible. And so for me, that's what I love. Like that's a definition of love for me because that's what I saw. A lot of times is how we grow up, you know. My husband per se, he didn't grow up in a household like that. He grew up seeing everybody separated. My daddy over here doing his thing, my mom over here doing her thing, and and that's fine too. But you do learn from what you see growing up, and so you kind of expect, to follow along that same path in a way.
I feel like love isn't an illusion, but I feel like it's not a feeling. It's an action. You choose to love somebody and you choose to keep loving that person as you guys grow together, as you guys change, because you're going to change. No matter what age you are, you're going to change and you decide if this person is somebody that you want to love and can continue to love no matter what happens. But you have to choose that. You have to continue to do that every day. It's not something that's going to be easy
It's
all
a
the
work.
time.
It's work in like it's
Mhm.
work. Being in a relationship with someone is a lot of work. Like you have to learn how to compromise. Like a lot of people have no compromise. They want things their way. Oh, you need to be submissive. You need to do this. You need to listen to me. And this, some people have no compromise, and that's where the problem is. Like if you're not compromising, it does not have to be your way. It does not have to be my way. But let's meet in the middle where we can both, coexist.
And on top of compromising, because nowadays it's a lot of female bosses, and so when it comes down to compromising, nowadays a lot of men, they want you to cook, clean, all of that by yourself. If we're not thinking like a team, I can't do it, because we gotta think like a
Absolutely,
team.
absolutely.
Because a lot of them, they want you to carry everything, carry the bags. Like the women, they have to take the kid to school and everything, and sometimes the man is not able to do that. So we have to think like a team. What if I get sick or something? Like one day I need you to step in and call off one day. Like when I was growing up, my dad used to always just be working, 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 working. He would not call, like I have his own business and everything, but he does not call off. Like that grass is his wife. Like he's gonna go to work every day and not play. So it's like certain things you could see. Like that's why I'm like nowadays, like when it comes down to my dating, I have to make sure like if the man is thinking like a team, because I don't want to be carrying all the weight by myself. Because
You
I
are
saw
absolutely
my mom
correct.
carrying all the weight by herself, so I refuse to follow behind that same footstep. Like
Absolutely. See, we learn from what we see, and either we're
Mhm.
going to follow that same pattern,
Right.
which most people do, but it takes a stronger person to say, you know what, I seen that, I didn't
I have
like
to
it, I
break
didn't like
it.
the way it made me feel, or that person feel, I don't want to do this. So most people follow the same pattern, even though they didn't like it. It's so hard to get out of what you've seen, and the longer you live, I've come to realize that people stay in patterns. What they did when they were younger, it continues and continues all the way up into adulthood. So, making change is very difficult. It's very difficult. So, kudos to you for seeing something and not wanting it for yourself.
Why do black men date white women? And my response was, as a child, when I was, not so immature and not so experienced, I didn't understand. I was totally against it. But those was my words verbatim to her, that most men who are black, their parents done everything that you and I are doing, because we're still black, and whatever thing that they did, or generational things or curses or whatever you want to call them, it transpired from the mom to the daughter to whoever they are dating. So I told her my dad is married to two white women, and I understand it's not always for love, but it's for something that's different. It could be something that's convenient, because he's seen his mom fuss and cuss the house down and dog people out. He don't want to go through that same thing. He wants to break the cycle of whatever trauma he's experienced. Now, of course, because the lady that he's with is white now, it's like, everybody like, oh, this is where we came from and white people did us bad. But for how long are we going to stay bondage in the fact that white people did us bad? You know what I mean? Do you want to spend the rest of your life potentially with someone that's always fussing and cussing you out, or always dogging you out because that's what they know, and they haven't met or went outside of the box to create a different outcome from what it is that they are currently doing? So this is something that is going to keep going on. And sometimes men don't have a voice because we overpower it with our harsh words, with our actions, with how we are and how we've been raised, and this is how I always been, so I'm not changing.
That goes to women taking accountability. Like, as black women, some black women are harsh to their men. Like, I agree. Some black women are not, feminine enough to their men. But then there are some that are. But as women, that's why you got to take accountability and look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with what she's saying. I get it. Like, I get why they go outside. And I get why some black women may go outside. Because some black men aren't, they're not protectors. They're not providers. They're not masculine in that sense. So they have to go outside of their race to get what they want. Because naturally, we're naturally going to be what we naturally are as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, they're naturally going to be who they are. We'll never understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to know how to deal with each other. And that's just what it is.
My thing is with black, white, or outside dating outside of your race. I don't mind someone being attracted to a Caucasian person or Hispanic person, but don't act like they're better than your black person who your mom is black, your sister's black, all your aunties are black. Don't act like they're better than us because we may fuss and cuss, because a lot of times we know nothing but being strong. We go through way more than any of those other races could ever imagine. And like I was telling Keandra yesterday, I said, oh, I was on the phone with one of my customers, Caucasian lady. She's like, oh yeah, I'm sitting here, drinking wine, and my husband's over there working, and my son's over there doing his homework, and I'm booking cruises, you know. But yeah, in the snow, and it was snowing, and as a black woman, I've never had a day like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always, I gotta go cook, I gotta go to work, I gotta go take the child this place, I gotta go do this, and So then you as a man want to come trying to put me in my place. You see what I'm saying? When I'm doing way more than you are even doing, because you go to work and you come home. I go to work, I come home, I cook, I do this, I do that, gotta pay bills, gotta do this, So at the same time, you have to understand where we come from as black women.
I understand where we come from as black women, but what I am saying is it's not that any other race is better than us, but it's perhaps maybe they've tapped into a softer version of what we're trying to portray. Strong does not mean toxic. Strong does not mean always arguing, bickering, yelling, putting people down.
True.
And because that is where we come from, most of us come from, that's what we project out, whether we do it knowingly or unknowing. And it goes back way farther than what we could talk about here superficially. It goes back really, really far. But I don't think that I think in our minds, because we are the ones that's like, they taking our man, it makes us, feel like that. But on the other end, they probably feel like their man ain't nothing either.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, because, okay, like we were talking about how you were raised, right? Like my dad, he's married to a white woman, but he got 10 black kids. So, therefore, after being with so many black women, and even with his own mother being how she is, he wanted something different. So it goes back to what she was saying. I get it. But at the same time, when are we going to start teaching, each other, or even the generation coming up, how to deal with each other? Because it comes down to, teaching.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like we have to start there, like start teaching the youth, start learning ourselves. First we gotta learn ourselves.
Absolutely.
And then once we learn ourselves, we can go out and try to learn them in. And try to, deal with them. And then we can teach the younger generation, because that's what's important. Because these kids.
But that's the problem. That's a lot of part of the problem, because, back in the day, it was more of it takes a village to raise a child. Other people, like I remember I have older cousins, and they would talk to me growing up. Well, what are your plans for the future? And these are things that my mom maybe didn't have time to talk to me about, So us too, we all have the responsibility to pour back into the next generation. And so that is one of the purposes of this podcast, to be able to pour back into the next generation abroad, And so, it starts with one little girl, let her know that, hey, your skin color is beautiful. Know that you're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you anything differently. And we have to take that responsibility to do those things, because as you know, parents work, a lot of times they come home, they're tired, they don't want to, they don't have time to pour in. It's our responsibility. People like you that don't have kids, people like you that don't have kids, take some child under your wings, teach them, pour into them, show them how to do something, It's our responsibility.
We have to understand the need. So, For example, Peculiar Purpose, we have more than one tier. We do Girls of Purpose as well. And I love those little girls. But sometimes you could have or God could give you a vision or idea or whatever it is that you're doing. And you could do things just on the surface level because you don't understand the need. And sometimes in life, a traumatic event will happen to get you to have a aha moment, like, oh, this is what this was for. So we'll go through trauma in our life, whether it's at a young age, at an old age, midlife crisis, whatever it is. But we have to also understand that everything that we go through in life is never for ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
And when we go through those things, we have to, if you got to write it down, so you can be able to look back and reach somebody else. I'm getting teary because I really feel this. Purpose Restored was birthed because when my grandpa died, I felt like I did not have community. And understanding that death, life transition, all of that happens, you need an ear, you need somebody to talk to, you need an outlet. And I knew that I know a lot of people, but because these people are not connected, I can't be poured into properly. It's not always that you're going to get it from church. It's not always that you're going to get it from a man. Sometimes it's just sisterhood alone, or the neighbor next door. You never know what someone has to pour into you. The stigma of us not being friendly as women, it has to stop. It has to change because we need to be friendly. The Bible says you ought to assemble yourselves, and that goes to more than just the church. You have to assemble yourself amongst people that understand you, people that want to know you. People, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We need each other.
Like-minded individuals.
We need each
We
other.
all have a story, and like me, I love to study people, and I just love I love watching documentaries. I love everyone's I love to know, how did this person get to this point, and why do they behave like this? It's not so much the behavior. I want to see what's behind it, what caused it. And so I can have a deeper understanding of that person and why they behave the way that they do and things like that. So yes,
You understand yourself.
absolutely.
Pour back. Like she said, that's why you went through that. Even the Bible say we are overcome by the power of our testimony. We went through that for someone else. When I was married for 18 years in my first marriage. I'm in my second one now. 18 years, had all my children, everything. And at that time, at the worst time in my marriage, every day I'm in the break room with my best friend, and she talking me through it because she already done been there. God already allowed her to go through that for me. And every day she was talking me off the ledge every day, and she went through worse than what I went through. So I can look at that and say, and she did it. And she walked away, and and look at her. I can do it. I can walk away. I can get better. And what I went through is for somebody else. And I'm here to tell the story. I'm here to help, you know? And so, and I'm open to that. And one thing about Virgos, we're very private. We're not secretive, we're private. And so, when I got out of that, relationship, I learned how to become more vocal and verbal. Like, if you would have known me back then, I didn't really talk a lot unless I was teaching or, I did not. And I also was gospel hip hop artist, but unless I was on the stage or, I was quiet, to myself, did not tell my business. No one knew. When we got divorced, people were so shocked because I covered him. No one knew what we were going through. I didn't run and tell my sister or call and tell my mom until I was ready to walk away. I kept family out of the relationship. No one knew. People thought we were perfect.
Do you think that's better though? Because I know you should keep your relationship between the people that's in your relationship, but then it makes it hard to know is this normal? Is this abuse? Is this toxic? If I'm not allowed to say anything to anybody else.
So my thing is I was very particular about who I talked to about it. And it couldn't be my mom or my sister or my family member, because now when we come around to family events,
they probably be like, oh, I'm gonna mess with my sister, you know? And you know your mom gonna go to bat for you, you know? So you have to use deep discretion and talk to someone you trust and someone that you know is going to tell you the right thing.
The nail tech.
The hairstylist. Because me and my clients have therapy sessions, okay? When they leave, they feel so, trust me, they feel like, oh my God, they just had a whole therapy session, like, you know? And so, you know, that's our jobs. So we gotta share. We gotta share. Even though we want to be private, we have to share. And so this is my whole purpose of this podcast as well. You know, to share. We got to open up. We're in this digital age. Every minute we swiping, we ain't really talking to each other. This and that. We have to communicate. We got to share. We got to open up. People don't even know how to say hello, beautiful. You look nice today. You know, because we just all into this digital technology and things like that. Yeah, you're not even inviting when someone sees you. You got a unit on your face. You know what I'm saying? So we have to work on ourselves and be more
That's a good
open.
and bad thing. It's super helpful to see somebody who's just like you, but at the same time, you can't be in it all the time too much and not pay attention to what's around you as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, so those things are good to listen to those different stories because they're different people that are not biased and you know they don't, oh girl, you need to leave him, you know. You know, you have to be careful about who you listen to and who you talk to. So I'm so excited. These ladies have so much to say till we have to do a part 2. So come with me. We're getting a whole nother group of ladies and let's see what they have to say.